Osama Nazzal can now join us. He's a Palestinian affairs analyst, joining me live from Jenin. Thanks very much indeed for joining us, Osama. I'm glad we just got you on the line there. What is your assessment of what is going on at the moment around Al-Aqsa and also with the reprisals, of course, in Gaza and the Israeli Air Force?
Yes, what's going on is Israeli occupation violence against the Palestinian worshippers inside Al-Aqsa Mosque in occupied Jerusalem and against all the Palestinian people everywhere in the West Bank and in the Gaza Strip. I think this military escalation and this kind of brutal violence against the Palestinians could be unprecedented, getting into the mosque and shooting inside it, injuring many people, detaining people in a very brutal and a very humiliating way, tying their hands back and let their faces lie down the ground, pushing them into trucks and then into Israeli prisons. So the situation is really volatile, and the Israeli violence used against the Palestinians today is unlimited. And it seems that it's going to escalate more and more. As we are speaking now, the Israeli occupation forces are storming into Al-Aqsa Mosque and at the same time storming different Palestinian refugee camps and different Palestinian villages, like the Shafat refugee camp, which is very close to the city of Jerusalem, injuring people, detaining people. And it seems that Israel is giving its soldiers a free hand to let as much blood as possible of the Palestinians, worshippers and citizens, and this violence is unjustified. People are going to perform prayer, they are going to worship, they are not going to fight, they are not going to put at risk the life of any Israeli soldier or any Israeli resident. So Israel is provoking the Palestinian people and at the same time provoking the whole region. We should not forget that the Holy Islamic site in Jerusalem is under the custody of the Jordanian government. So Israel is violating its agreement with the Palestinians and with the Jordanian government and the Waqf department of Jordan. So this is what's happening really. Shedding more blood of the Palestinians for the sake of shedding blood, nothing more.
So how, in your view, can the escalation be prevented? How can people calm the situation down at this particular moment, which is, of course, Ramadan and Passover? It's a special time. It's a difficult time where feelings run high. There's Israeli politics is very turbulent at the moment. What can people within Israel and Palestine do to calm the situation down? What can the international community do to help calm the situation
down? When it comes to the Palestinians can't do anything really because they are not fomenting or stoking violence. The Palestinians are going to practice their religious rituals inside the mosque and doing nothing to the Israelis. But Israel is required to stop its soldiers and its settlers' violence against the Palestinian people. And Israel is required to end its occupation of the Palestinian land because it is really very boring and very futile to keep talking about calm and temporary peace in the region without handling the root cause of the problem, which is the existence of the Israeli occupation on the Palestinian land. So the way out of this whirlwind of violence and of conflict is ending the Israeli occupation for all the Palestinian land occupied in 1967. Concerning your question about the role of the international community, really the position of the international community, including the United Nations, is shameful and really shameful because they issued hundreds of resolutions with regard to the Israeli occupation of Palestine, but they did not implement one resolution. While when it comes to any other country on this planet, they move and mobilize their military forces and implement their resolutions by force. But when it comes to the Palestinians, They just give lip service, words all the time, statements, condemnations, but no action on the ground. The Palestinians in Jerusalem are dying, while the officials in the United Nations are having like conferences, statements, and work meetings, but nothing tangible, nothing satisfying. The United Nations and the international community are falling short of implementing their resolutions and their conventions and their strategies. And the Palestinian people today have no faith at all in the so-called international community. What the Palestinians can't hope on is the activists, the people who support justice, the people who support the human rights everywhere, who take to the streets and say Israel must stop. The blood of the Palestinian people is not cheap. The Palestinians suffered 75 years under the Israeli colonial regime, and it's time now to end this occupation and enable the Palestinian children to go to their schools and to their kindergartens peacefully, safely, without being threatened by the M16s of the Israeli soldiers and the Israeli war jets.
Osama Nazzal, thank you very much indeed for joining us tonight. Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.